Guys, I am going over the lawsuit, the new lawsuit that's, what is it called? Smith versus Wayfarer Foundation, right? Against Steve Sarowitz and someone else. For some reason, Smith included her resume in it. I don't know why, but hey, let's read. Look, she says that she's spiritually grounded for philanthropic executive with more than 15 years of senior leadership across foundations, cultural institutions, and movement-based organizations. So she should be very well. And then she's like, yes, spiritual, like executive competency, spiritually grounded and values-based philanthropy. So she's very well aware, that some philanthropies are value-based and spiritually grounded. She understands that, right? Plaintiff discussed two grant applications which were off-cycle requests. Defendant Sarowitz, although the grants were for $200,000 and $50,000, began to ask questions about the smaller application. I am guessing the $50,000. The smaller application was for a Muslim health clinic in Chicago. Plaintiff experienced Sarowitz once again asking probing questions about a black Muslim woman's grant and bias race and religious questions about whether the clinic had familial ties to Betty Shabazz, the widow of Malcolm X. The Shabazz family is African American and Muslim. The disparity in treatment was so glaring, Plaintiff Smith was deeply troubled by the racial and religious bias being conducted by defendant Sarowitz and condoned by the interim director, Jennifer Weigel, who was present. Plaintiff spoke up by answering all the questions, but noted the disparity. So she didn't speak up. She answered all the questions, okay? Noted the disparity in treatment, so said nothing at that time. Got it. Here's the thing with this. I know it does sound like bad, but you have to put this in a context. If this was a different charity with federal funds or whatever, it's different. If the funds, it all depends on the funds, guys. Who raised the $200,000, the $250,000? Who raised this money? If it was Baha'i people that raised the money and they stipulated, hey, I want to help this, I want to prioritize Baha'i people, because the money given was to advance, the Baha'i faith or to help Baha'i, applicants. It depends. We need to know the context. If a donor wanted to be very specific, hey, I want to give to a Latino woman of the age 35 and above, then any Latino woman that's below that age or any Caucasian woman, no, they can't apply. It's simple as that. This is out of context. We need the context. Who gave the money? Was it Sarowitz or any Baha'i person? Then if they skip a Muslim applicant, that's none of our business. It is what it is. This is alleges that, the plaintiff and other employees, which nobody has come forward, we don't know, formally complained to defendant's human resources contractor. The contract with the human resources consultant was abruptly terminated before an internal impartial discrimination could occur, could happen, basically. And then 10 days after, the plaintiff making her formal complaint, then defendants shut down the Wayfarer Foundation. Because the lawsuit mentions that she became aware of statements said by Sarowitz in October 2024. Were those statements regarding what he talked about with Clara Yu? That's what I want to know. She goes on and on about how she expected to work there for a long time. And so, her rights in Illinois state law, defendants broke their promises to plaintiff where she planned and expected a long, productive tenure with the defendants, but such promises which plaintiff relied on were broken to plaintiff's detriment. But she got a severance package, arguing mental anguish, physical and emotional distress, humiliation and embarrassment, loss of professional reputation. How? Loss of the ordinary pleasures of everyday life? What? And I want to know if this is illegal. Recurrent plaintiffs to evaluate grant applications for blacks and Muslims in a more restrictive manner, asking questions of plaintiff which were illegal in placing. I don't think those questions were illegal, honestly. So I just went to the Wayfarer Foundation's Facebook page, and it made me so sad. Like, I was going through the pictures, and it made me so sad. It feels like bullying at this point, guys. It feels like bullying, in my opinion, allegedly.